It's a classic holiday dessert, and for many people, Thanksgiving just wouldn't be complete without pumpkin pie. Jane Grover from A Pie Bake Shop is here with her son Mark to show us their version of this classic pumpkin pie. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good to see you. All right, so tell me about your version of pumpkin pie.
So it's a traditional pumpkin pie, but it's got a layer of a pecan praline topping on top. So
nice.
Chopped pecans, dark brown sugar, and a little bit of molasses.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
let's talk about it. Obviously, you've got to start with a good base.
Yes. So we're going to start with the crust.
Okay.
Any store-bought pie crust, or if you have your favorite recipe, go ahead and use that. It's no problem.
Okay.
We'll just fit it into a tin. I just use an aluminum tin, but you can use a glass baking pan if you'd like. We'll pre-bake it.
Okay.
You want to get a head start on the crust before you put the filling in, or else the crust isn't going to be done in time by the time the filling is done.
So how long?
So what you'll do is you'll put it in a 350 oven for about maybe 15 to 18 minutes.
Okay.
You'll line it with a piece of foil or parchment paper and put in some baking beans, ceramic baking beans, or just plain dried beans to help weigh it down.
Okay.
After that time is up, you'll take the beans out as well as the foil or the parchment, and you'll put it back in the oven till it gets this golden in its color with not any moisture left on it.
Gotcha. Just so
it
that
dries it out a
everything
bit.
levels out.
Yes,
timing-wise.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So while that is in the oven, you can prepare your filling.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
So we've got your basic can of pumpkin filling here. What we'll do is, would you want to give me the brown sugar? Thank you, Mark. So we'll add dark brown sugar.
That was a lot of brown sugar. How much was that? I mean, which tells me it's going to be good.
It's 7 ounces. It's a pretty tall pie. You can see it. It gets pretty tall.
Okay.
And then you'll add your spice mixture. So you have cinnamon, allspice, ginger, a little bit of cloves, and some salt.
Nice. Okay.
So we'll put this in. And for time's sake, I'm actually just doing this in a bowl. But what you'll do is you will actually cook this in a saucepan on the cooktop.
Okay.
And the reason for that is you want to go ahead and get the sugar melted. And you want to get all your spices bloomed basically in the heat.
So here's what I love about your recipe already, and I was reading where you're like, this doesn't all have to be made from scratch. We don't
No.
have to start
Definitely
by
not.
to make a pie crust. You said it's okay to just get some stuff straight out the store.
Exactly.
This you said came straight out the can, and I was thinking you were going to say we got to pull out the sweet potatoes and
no, no one's got time for that.
Okay, very.
No, no.
Yes, keep talking, keep talking. You've got 99% of the mothers going, keep talking, honey.
Yeah, so then you'll have this, like I said, you'll have it on the stovetop for about 5 minutes till it darkens in color a bit and starts to thicken up a bit.
Okay.
And then when you're done with that, we'll add 3 eggs.
Okay. And that is?
This is evaporated milk.
Okay, and how much is that?
This is 1 cup, 8 ounces.
Okay.
Yes. And you'll just blend this all together.
And so 18 minutes later, we've pulled this out. We've pulled out your crust.
Right. You can actually even make your crust the day or 2 days before. It doesn't have to be made exactly that time. But it would be helpful if when you have your oven preheated to put this entire mixture in, that
that is going to be, that is really huge. That, I mean, that's,
yeah, it'll
that's
fill
a lot.
it.
Yeah.
It'll fill it. So since this filling is warm, you'll want your pie crust warm. It just bakes more evenly that way. All right. So there you go. So once we put your filling in, you'll put it in the pie crust, then you'll pop it in the oven for about maybe 30 minutes or so, 350. You'll want it to get a little puffy and a little jiggly in the middle.
Sure, sure. That little.
Kind of like me after the holidays.
Kind of like us
Puffy
all
and
after the
jiggly.
holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's
But
get
it's
to
worth it.
my favorite part
Yes.
where you're talking about this pecan layering,
Yes. So
right? That's,
would you like to go
here's
ahead and do that?
Yeah, sure. If
Okay.
you trust me. I mean, I don't want to
sure.
mess up. This is a
No,
good looking.
we're not baking this. This is just for show. So.
Okay.
All right, so what we'll do in here, you'll put in your dark brown sugar.
Okay.
We have a half a cup of dark brown sugar.
More brown sugar. Yes, you had me.
And then we have 1 cup of finely chopped pecans.
Okay, all right.
And then you're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then it has 2 teaspoons of a dark corn syrup as well.
Oh, okay. So tell me the significance of the corn syrup.
It
added
just
to
helps. It helps bring everything together.
Okay.
What you're going to do is you're going to mix that up until it's a sandy consistency.
Okay.
And then once that is done.
Why do I feel like Mark would have already been finished with this part of the process?
So once you've got that mix into a sandy consistency and your pie is coming out of the oven, you'll top that evenly over the top. You'll put it back in the oven, same temperature for about maybe 8 to 10 minutes until the sugar starts to bubble around the edges.
Gosh, it already smells good, and there's not even an oven on.
I know.
I love this.
And that's what you get.
The
right
finished
there,
product
the finished
is
product. And I've
right
got a
here.
slice for you and a fork if you'd like to try.
Oh my gosh. Mark, does that look like anything like what your mom did at the house when I was doing there, or not so much? Not so much. Fair enough, fair enough. Got it. Let's see. This looks, oh my gosh, look at how
it's tall, isn't it?
Huge that is.
Yes, it's like a deep dish pie almost. Good.
You had me at pecan hello.
Okay.
Thank you. That is very good.
Thanks.
And I'm not really usually crazy about pumpkin, but that really did sweeten it up a little bit.
Yeah. It adds a nice touch to it, definitely.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, thank you so much for today's recipe or more on Pie, a Bake Shop. Go to fox5atlanta.com. Look for the viewer information story.